Hey all, welcome back to Fire and Water Cooking. I'm Darren, of course. Hey, today I'm gonna do a steak, but I know it's a steak I haven't done before. I've seen a lot of them out there on YouTube. It's a Florentine steak, so it's pretty much just a really big, thick cut porterhouse or T-bone. I kind of call this one a T-bone because there's not a whole lot of filet on it. But this is from Wild Fork. It's black Angus beef, of course, and it says it's aged, don't know how long, but it is choice grade Florentine steak. So this is kind of a cut that they do over in Italy. So we're gonna sous vide it, and then we're gonna sear it off. All right, guys, I'll be back. We're taking this out of the pack, season it up. I'll be right back.
Smoking, grilling, getting hot and hotter. Sous vide and chilling from fire and water.
All right, guys, so like I said, we're going to go ahead and season this bad boy up. I'm going to sous vide it for right about 4 hours. Hopefully it's enough to get it cooked all the way through. This is about 2.5 or almost 3 inches thick here. So 4.5 hours should be good. It's not going to really tenderize it much. It's just going to pretty much cook it all the way through. But if you're not familiar with a Florentine steak, pretty much just a T-bone or porterhouse, really thick cut. And if you've watched any Food Network shows or Netflix cooking type shows, there's a guy, it's an Italian butcher that is kind of famous for making these, and they usually cook them slow over direct heat, kind of high up, and just kind of flip them like every couple minutes to get them cooked all the way through. But we're going to sous vide this, of course, because it's a really good, big, thick piece of beef. Sous vide is going to really help make sure it's cooked all the way through at the perfect temp. We're going to do 134 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's also going to make sure that the seasoning and the salt brines into the meat while it's cooking. We're going to use my black garlic and coffee seasoning here. Really great on beef. The coffee flavor kind of dilutes when it cooks, and it just actually adds a really good flavor. It enhances some of the other flavors in here, like the garlic, the black garlic, and the pepper and the salt. I think you'd be really surprised, even if you don't like coffee, I think you would like this seasoning on beef. It really does have a really different flavor to it. So that easy, guys. We're just going to get a nice coating on it, put it in our sous vide bag or our vacuum sealer bag. I try not to call them sous vide bags because it's really just a vacuum sealer bag. And I got this coming up to temp already. It's just right breaking 100 degrees. So we're going to throw this in 4 hours. We'll take it out and we'll finish it up. All right, guys, I'm gonna get this all bagged up. We'll get it in the bag, put it in the sous vide. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and put this in now. So this is gonna be a really simple cook. It's not hard at all. So I got my steak in there. The biggest thing is getting this thing cooked all the way through. If you're trying to cook it traditionally on a grill, but thankfully we can use sous vide to cook it all the way through, not overcook it at all, and then just sear it up and get some smoke to it using our pellets. All right, guys, I'll be right back for you, but it'll be about 4 hours for me. See you when I get back. All right, guys, so I got this big old steak out of the sous vide bath. It's ready to go on the grill. The grill's pushing almost 600 degrees right now, so it's gonna be ready as soon as I get this done. So all I'm gonna do, it's really simple, is take this steak out of the bag, and I'm gonna treat it just like a regular steak. The only difference is this thing is really, really thick. Go ahead and toss that bag. You can save the juices if you want, guys. I usually don't. Go ahead and pat this thing dry, just like we normally would. So the only difference between this big old hunk of meat and a regular porterhouse is that it's a lot thicker. Now, you know, a genuine Florentine steak, from what I understand, has to be from a certain type of cattle in Italy, from around the Tuscan area. That's why it's called Florentine, for Florence, that area of Italy. All right, so take a look at that. Nice dark color to it. From my black garlic and coffee seasoning, I'm gonna put just a little bit more on here. One of the benefits of this thing being so thick is that it's going to give me a lot more density. I'll be able to get a better crust on this thing. I don't have to worry about it overcooking much at all. So we're pretty much going to go ahead and get this on the grill. It's right at 600 degrees, but I'll wait just a couple more minutes. I'll take you over to the grill and we'll sear this bad boy up. I'll be right back. All right, guys, so I got my pellet grill. It's right up at 650, still climbing. I'm gonna go ahead and toss this thing on and close it back up. Put it right there in the middle. And like I said, I'm not really too worried about this thing overcooking because it's going to have plenty of thermal mass in there to keep it medium rare. All right, guys, just want to show you this right here. That smoke coming out from some of that fat melting, causing that smoke. I'm gonna go ahead and flip this over. Look at that. Woo! As soon as I close the lid, that's gonna go away. But yeah, some of that side fat's starting to render out and cause that smoke in there. So it's up to 700 degrees now. All right, I'll see you in a second. All right, guys, I'm going to show you a little trick that they do when they're cooking this thing over in Italy. Whoop, and it's not that. They'll actually put this on a grill sitting on top of the bone like that because it'll actually let this cook kind of like a reverse sear. I don't know if this is going to let me close it. It did. It's going to cook it kind of like a reverse sear. It will actually do a slow cook on that while it's sitting on that bone. While the bone is getting the full force of the heat, it will actually slowly cook that meat. So if we hadn't sous vide it first, I would probably try cooking it like that in order to not overcook it. But since we did cook this thing sous vide first and cooked it all the way through, I'm not really too worried about it. I'm just wanting to get a nice sear. So I am gonna kind of let it sit on each side and kind of render more of that fat. And char up that side there. That's kind of good that it's got that fire going right there because I don't have to let it sit there too long. See if I can get this to balance. Yeah, it's not going to balance on its own. So I'm just trying to render some more of that fat. Alright, and I'll put it back on just for another minute or so on each side here, and then we'll be done. Alright guys, here it is. Check out this hunk of meat here. Now, usually what they do is they'll go ahead and cut this thing right off the bone. Try to get all around it. And this is, like I said, like a T-bone. So you got, this is mostly your strip loin right here. Take a look at that. Still plenty of medium rare right there. Still plenty on that bone we can pull off later. And then of course this is your part of your tenderloin. Got a little bit more fat to it there too, so check that out. Well, there you have it, guys. Super simple. Like I said, I got this at Wild Fork using my black garlic and coffee seasoning. Plenty of medium rare there. Super juicy, super tender. Having it cook in a sous vide for a few hours. I think I went about 5.5, 6 hours on this. Made it so it tenderized it just nice. Kept it nice and medium rare and juicy. There you have it, guys. Florentine steak. Check it out from Wild Fork. Big, thick porterhouse or T-bone steak. Cooked sous vide and finished off on the grill. Thanks for watching. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and I'll see you on the next one.